How to spot an NPC. The first thing to understand is that according to the Pareto distribution, around 80% of people are NPCs.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
That is, 4 out of every 5 people are brainwashed, useful idiots.
Damn!
Who unwittingly carry out the divide and conquer agenda of the powers that be. And are consequently responsible for ushering in the technocratic, transhumanist, totalitarian, dystopian, satanic nightmare of the New World Order AI global control grid that is Loosh Farm Planet Earth 2.0.
Oh my god, that is so gross.
There are almost 8 billion people in the world. The powers that be number a few thousand people.
Okay.
There is absolutely no way a few thousand people could ever enslave 8 billion people in an AI global control grid, dystopian satanic nightmare, loosh farm of human suffering without the help of 6.4 billion hollow-headed NPC golems.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
So rather than focusing our attention on the powers that be, who hide in the shadows and are well protected, the Christ consciousness solution is to awaken the 4 out of 5 from their NPC slumber, which in itself will render the powers that be completely powerless. Remember, the powers that be only have the power we give them through our forgetting of who we really are, the Christ child.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The holy child of God.
Oh, I see.
And our ignorance of our inherent God-given power to create whatever experience of reality we choose.
We don't believe you. We don't believe.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
It's real. Where's all the paint?
You don't need it anymore. This is your world now. Thought is real. Physical is the illusion. Ironic, huh?
Through our Christed consciousness. It stands to reason then that if 80% of people are NPCs, then it makes more sense to identify who is not an NPC and as a first step to make sure you are part of the 20% of people who are sovereign individuals.
This pleases me.
So the following video will describe all the things sovereign individuals don't believe in and NPCs do.
Okay.
The police and the government do not serve the people of this country.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Low class.
The police and government serve the powers that be.
Whoa, 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 hey, are you insane?
The powers that be operate under 3 main ideologies.
And now for some rapid fire facts.
Marxism, Zionism, and Satanism.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
These ideologies, along with their bastard child, scientific materialism.
Erroneous! Erroneous! Erroneous on both counts.
Along with the Abrahamic religions, New Age spirituality, party politics, democracy, and the liberalism of modernity are all false, fear-based systems of control of the many by the few.
That's right, I said it!
Thus, anyone who has been captured by or possessed by any of these ideologies is an NPC.
Weird way, it was almost like I had to sort of fool my mind into believing that it wasn't retarded.
You disrespect yourself and your nation. You are made of stupid.
They are fully and completely mind-controlled avatars, just like those poor souls plugged into the Matrix that could be possessed by an agent of darkness at any time. The film The Matrix wasn't science fiction. It was spiritual reality.
Damn!
The Matrix was a documentary.
Damn!
It is the closest any movie has ever come to revealing the truth about the world.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
What's the truth about the world, I hear you ask? I'm glad you asked. The truth about the world is that this world is a farm, and human people are the animals.
What?
Most people are like the chickens, sheep, goats, and dairy cows. As long as they produce the eggs, wool, milk, butter, and cheese the ruling elite feed off of, they can live quite comfortably. But billions of people in the world, like the people of Gaza, are mere lambs to the slaughter.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Yes!
So, to summarize the main difference between sovereign individuals and NPCs. Sovereign individuals are capable of the pattern recognition, critical thinking, common sense, and courage required to face and acknowledge the obvious fact that the powers that be look upon the human race in the same way a factory farmer looks upon his cattle.
Does the word duh mean anything to you?
Whereas NPCs have lost their pattern recognition ability and their critical thinking skills and their common sense and their courage due to the mind hijack that is ideological possession.
I'm not even going to say anything. It's so embarrassing.
Put simply, sovereign individuals are not ideologues. NPCs are.
That's right, I said it!
Ideologies are nothing but limiting belief systems or subconscious scripts which cause those who become captured or possessed by them to become the mind-controlled puppets of the powers that be.
That's the way you want to put it. I don't have some way to put it. That's the way it is.
As Carl Jung put it, people don't have ideas. Ideas have people.
I got nothing.
So, in order to stop being or avoid becoming an NPC, you must abandon all ideological belief and rely solely on your God-given pattern recognition, critical thinking, common sense, and courage to navigate life and to face up to painful, inconvenient truths.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear about what
believing ideologies does?
Okay, last time. This is your brain. This is
ideology.
This is your brain on
ideologies.
Any questions?
But that begs the question, how did 80% of humanity fall prey to ideological possession by the false ideologies of the powers that be? The answer is simple. The powers that be control the three most powerful sources of ideological indoctrination in the world. The Abrahamic religions. We need to talk about Jeshua. Who is he and what did he really teach? Jeshua, or Yeshua ben Joseph, is the being most of us recognize as Jesus. He is the most influential person in history.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
Even though he lived on the planet over 2,000 years ago and never had a mobile phone, Twitter account, or access to the internet.
That's a good point. You've got a good point.
One of the world's most powerful religions claims his name. Yet, do we know what he actually taught?
Absolutely fucking not.
Jeshua's original language, and thus the language of all his teachings, was Aramaic.
I'm sorry, what?
A reality few of us were even aware of until the release of Mel Gibson's 2004 film, The Passion of the Christ. Aramaic is a language of tone and vibration. It is very different than the either-or linear language structure of Western civilizations.
Really?
One word spoken with a subtle change of inflection may speak to 7 levels of consciousness. That is, 7 different levels of meaning, all at once.
Your thoughts?
What?
As we read the few fragments of Jeshua's teachings that actually made it into the Bible, it's imperative to remember that they've been translated and interpreted by beings from cultures and thus language structures vastly different from his original Aramaic.
Oh, I see.
These translations, first into Greek, then Latin, and then the Germanic languages that eventually morphed into what is today known as English, also occurred centuries after Jesus first taught them. And what was translated were merely fragments of all he originally gave.
Oh dear, we are in trouble.
Considering all of this, is it any surprise that his teachings were lost in translation?
Nope. No, I don't think so.
No.
No. No, 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 no.
No.
Hell no!
With the Way of Mastery pathway, we're invited to return to Jeshua's extraordinary original teachings.
That's what I'm talking about!
They reveal vast and timeless wisdom grounded in alchemical living practices that fulfill the criteria of any genuine spirituality.
This pleases me.
These teachings correct the mind, heal the heart, and awaken the soul.
Yes! Yes!
Make it so.
Here are some truths Jeshua actually taught.
Oh, am I listening?
1. All beings are a spark of light or soul at one with God, and we remain eternally as we are created to be. 2. Sin is not a moral failing, but rather a resistance to knowing and living this light. 3. We are each fully responsible for how we use our light to choose and thus attract precisely what we experience.
Can you say that again? Just the way you said it.
We are each fully responsible for how we use our light to choose and thus attract precisely what we experience.
No way! Yup!
Yup.
Yep.
This power of choice is the most fundamental aspect of the radiant and sovereign soul. 4. While our union and reality is unchanged, unchanging, and unchangeable, we have used our power of choice to imagine and create experiences that flow from the belief that we have achieved primal separation. That is, separation from God. 5. This belief in separation is the true meaning of hell. Though often hidden, this belief engenders a primal guilt, a sense of our inner being as fundamentally flawed, which gives birth to myriad forms of psychological and behavioral suffering in humanity.
Fuck.
6. God is love, and love does not condemn. There is no judgment. 7. All beings are to be forgiven and supported if they are willing to transform their orientation from fear to love. 8. Forgiveness is not an intellectual concept, but rather a radical transformation of one's being, best encapsulated in the Aramaic term washwaklan, meaning to return to original wholeness or atonement. 9. Only when we genuinely forgive and then find ways to serve this atonement may we truly awaken to a full enlightenment.
Okay, I'm recusing myself from this situation. Thank you very much.
10. Heaven, like hell, is a potentiality available to all beings willing to enter and go through the purification, healing, and awakening process of enlightenment.
That is not going to happen.
Heaven is here now.
Jesus, you see, did not come to earth to try and start a religion. What he really came for was this. His earliest followers were called the Way. Not a doctrine, but a direction, meaning that they were following a path. And one of the most radical things Jesus ever said was this: the kingdom of heaven is within you. Not later, not after death, but here, now. And what he was pointing to was not worship of a person, but recognition of a presence, a living, breathing relationship with the divine, not through fear, but through awareness. After his death, however, institutions formed. And institutions, by their nature, seek control. So the message was subtly shifted from "you are one with God" to "God is separate and you must earn your way back."
Erroneous! Erroneous! Erroneous on both counts.
But the original invitation remains unchanged. When you step beyond dogma and listen deeply, you were never meant to follow a religion. You were invited to wake up, to realize that the divine you seek has been quietly living within you all along.
Correct. Thank you.
Jeshua's true teachings contain all that is required for complete, radical transformation into fully Christed consciousness.
That's what I'm talking about!
Are you ready to discover the Way of Mastery pathway for yourself?
I don't know, man.
If so, click the link and upgrade to premium membership. That will give you access to the Way of Mastery Mastermind, where I will mentor, guide, support, encourage, inspire, and hold you accountable for your practice of Christ consciousness. And one thing I haven't mentioned is that Jeshua is one joyful motherfucker, and the more time you spend practicing his teachings, the more joyful you get. And that's why I literally can't help make the kind of videos that I do with all the memes and jokes in them. Just in case you were wondering, that is what Christ consciousness is. It is pure, unadulterated joy. The education system.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
And the media.
Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about trouble and trying to irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 And there you have it.
Neither organized religion, the education system, nor the media can be trusted to tell you the truth. Like every other institution in this world, they have all been ideologically captured by the wealthiest, most powerful people on the planet in order to serve their agenda. Whether that was Emperor Constantine 1700 years ago deciding what gospels to include in the Bible, or John D. Rockefeller 150 years ago deciding what type of education Americans would receive, or Larry Ellison a few months ago deciding that criticism of Israel would be censored on TikTok. And what is the perennial agenda of the wealthiest, most powerful people on the planet? Well, George Carlin put it best.
But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else.
Can you say that again? Just the way you said it.
They want more for themselves and less for everybody else.
Correct. Thank you.
But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking.
I told you so.
They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this fucking place. It's a big club and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. And by the way, it's the same big club they use to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all.
I told you so.
And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on. The fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day. Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
You're goddamn right.
Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.